How's it going, everyone, and welcome to today's video where we will be going over the select from world tutorial section of the SQLZOO group of questions. Let's get started. We can see we have a little portion of our table showing name, continent, area, population, and GDP are our columns. We're assuming that the table is called world. It says in this tutorial you will use the select command on the table world. So let's get started. It says read the notes about this table. Observe the result of running the SQL command to show the name, continent, and population of all countries. So we say select name, continent, and population from world. Considering the fact that we want it for all countries, that's all we need to put. We're not filtering any data. And here you go. These are all the countries. Question number 2 says, how to use the where to filter records. Show the name for the countries that have a population of at least 200 million. 200 million is that number there, which there are 8 zeros. So we say select name from world where population. Now remember, in grade school math, your greater than or less than signs, the way we use it is, this is asking for at least, meaning not exactly 200 million or more than 200. It's saying at 200 million and up. So we say greater than or equal to 200 million. Let's run it. Beautiful. So we can see Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, and the United States have at least a population of 200 million. Let's come down to number 3. On some of these questions, you'll see a video kind of explaining how to break it down, but you're already here looking at this video, so this video won't be useful to you. It asks us, give the name and the per capita GDP for those countries with a population of at least 200 million. Select name, and the calculation for per capita GDP is GDP divided by population from world where, remember we're going to use our filter, where population is greater than or equal to 200 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's run it. Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, and the United States. And we can see the GDP per capita here. South America in millions. Now, question number 4 says, show the name and population in millions for the countries of the continent of South America. Divide the population by 1,000,000 to get the population in millions. So we say select name, population from world where continent equals South America. And then we're going to divide population by 1,000,000 to get our answer in millions. Now we're going to run it. Beautiful. We can see the correct answer here. Question number 5 says, show the name and population for France, Germany, and Italy. So again, if you remember from previous lessons, select name and population from world where name in parentheses, put the name of our countries in single quotes, divided by a comma, or separated by a comma, I should say. And let's run it. Perfect. Okay. Show the countries which have a name that includes the word United. Now, if you remember from the previous lesson, you'll know exactly what we need to do here. Select name, because we're requesting the name of countries, from world where name like quotes, double parentheses, united. Now let me break this down to you and explain what's going on. It's asking us if the word includes united. It's not asking us the name of a country that begins with united or ends in united. It's just asking us, it has somewhere within its name the word united, and that if we're looking for something in between, a name or letter in between, we're going to wrap it with the percentage sign on both sides. United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States. 2 ways to be big. Question number 7. 2 ways to be big. A country is considered big if its area is more than 3 million square kilometers, or its population is more than 250 million. So it's asking us to show the countries. Okay, so select name from world, where area, it's big by area or big by population. So it says show name, population, and area. Name, population, and area from world, where, remember here, 3,250,000 for, so area is greater than or equal to 3 million, or, it's not saying and, or, see, pay attention to this, or population is greater than 250 million. Let's run it. Beautiful. So these are countries that are considered big countries if we're going by the statistic of a country's area being more than 3 million square kilometers, or its population being over 250 million. Not both, but at least one of them. Now this gets a little bit more tricky, but it's very easy to understand. One or the other, but not both. Now imagine, for example, we're going to do this question, and we're looking for countries that either have an area larger than 3 million or a population of 250 million, but let's say we don't want any countries that have both. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. So we say select name, population, area from world, where area equals is greater than or equals to 3 million. XOR, that means or. Population is greater than or equal to 250 million. Let's see. Beautiful. Australia, Brazil, Canada, Indonesia, Russia. Rounding. We're going to learn to round in this question. Show the name and population in millions and the GDP in billions for countries of the continent South America. That's going to be our filter in our where statement. Use the round function to show values in 2 decimals. For Americas, show population in millions and GDP in billions, both to 2 decimal places. So we will say select name and population from world, where continent equals South America, South America, and then we also need GDP. The way we're going to do this is we're going to divide by a million here, because it says we want population in millions. And it also says we want GDP in billions, which I believe is 12 zeros. We'll check in a second. But it's asking us to round it. So we're going to round, close the whole thing in parentheses. But inside of here, we're going to put comma, and then the second notation we're going to place in here is our decimal place. So it says both by 2 decimal places. So we're going to put 2. Round, comma 2, close the parentheses. Let's run it and see. Wrong answer. Okay, let's see what we did wrong. I bet you it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I got too many zeros. Let's see. Okay, I think this should be it. Let's see. There we go. And as you can see, our numbers are rounded to 2 decimal places, and millions and billions for these countries. Let's go to question number 10. It says, show the name and per capita GDP. Remember, per capita GDP is GDP divided by population from world where GDP is at least 1 trillion, which is 12 zeros. Where GDP equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And we want to round it, so we're going to round, parentheses, comma, and it says to the nearest thousandth. Now remember, if our decimal point is here, okay, if we want to round to the nearest thousandth, our parentheses goes back this way, which if you remember grade school would be considered -1, -2, -3, -4. So for here, for thousands, if you remember, it's going to be a -3. That's going to give us our answer in the nearest thousandths. Let's write it and see. Okay, let's see what we did wrong. Show the name. Okay. Round GDP per capita. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should be correct. Let's see what I did wrong here. Oh, I see what I did. It's saying at least. So this has to be greater than or equal to. Okay. And there's our answer. Name of our countries with GDP per capita for those countries with a GDP of at least $1 trillion. Round it to the thousandths. Number 11. It says Greece has a capital, Athens. Each of the strings Greece and Athens has 6 characters. Show the name and capital of countries where the name and capital have the same number of characters. So we say select name, comma, capital from world where length name equals length capital. Let's run it. Beautiful. And there you go. Now pay attention to this one. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm. Both words start with the letter S. Show the name and the capital where the first letters of each match. Do not include countries where the name and capital are the same word. So it tells us you can use the left function to isolate the first character, and you can also use the not equals operator. So I'm going to break this down for you. We're going to say select name and capital from world where left name, comma 1 equals left capital, comma 1, and name does not equal capital. Let's run it. Okay, so now I'm going to break it down for you guys. So if you look at the question, it's asking us to show the name and capital. So select name and capital from world where left name, comma 1. So the left function, the way it works is it pretty much isolates the first character, and the way you know is the first character in the word obviously is number 1, is going to be number 1, like number 1, 2, 3. Let's say you wanted to isolate the second character, like for example A, like, or let's say the letter N in Andorra. You change this to a 2, and you're doing the same thing. You want it to equal the first character and the capital column, and you do not want capital and name of the country to be the same word, meaning like Luxembourg, Luxembourg. And these are the correct answers right here. Meaning these countries' names start with the letter A and their capitals also start with the letter A. These countries, the first letter of the name starts with B. Same goes for the name of the capital, it starts with B. Okay, all the vowels. Equatorial Guinea and Dominican Republic have all the vowels A, E, I, O, U in the name. They don't count because they have more than one word in the name. Find the country that has all the vowels and no spaces in its name. That's a very important part to pay attention to. No spaces in its name. You're going to see what it's like in a second. So we're going to say select name from world where name like single quotes double percentage sign A. I'm going to copy this and let's get rid of the where. Change this to an E. Copy this. Break it down a couple of times. So A, E, I, O, U. Pretty much we're saying the name has to have all the vowels in it. But remember it says and has no spaces. And the way you check for a space is by doing this. And name not like. You put a space between the percentage sign. And we say not like, meaning we don't want the names that we're requesting to have a space within it. Let's run it. Mozambique, there you go. It has all the vowels and no spaces, meaning it's just a single word. And there you go, that's the last question in this portion of questions on SQLZOO. I hope this video was very helpful for you. Please give it a thumbs up, give it a comment if you have any questions. I will answer your questions. Keep practicing, guys, and I look forward to the next video to help you guys out. Have a great day.